I shine. Been a long time, homie, since I first got down. Still on top of my game, forever play to the crowd. When I'm in front of a mic and I'm in the spotlight, the Gridiron, man, we taking y'all on a flight. Always coming for the hardcore, this is what I work for. Got them feeling for some more, they yelling encore. Verbally, I'm bringing heat to the streets. The flames bitter, my squad, nothing but winners, and you'll never see a quitter. Cause adversity is part of the plan. Just as sure as you go, always bob your head to the jam. So turn your volume up, you can see me up on your screen. Kicking knowledge like you need it, y'all some football fiends. Bringing heat at 100, we the realest around. Welcome to the Gridiron, baby, it's going down now. Like the music buzzing in amps. When I hit the end zone, fans are rocking the stands. Cause I'm an all-known until the break of the dawn. Not Zeke, but I'ma eat the way I'm seeing the film. It's the battle hymn, homie, gonna bang in your ear. And when they hear it, they gon' know the Kings is here. All-known until the break of the dawn. Not Zeke, but I'ma eat the way I'm seeing the film. I'm here to get mine, never gonna dwell on the past. Always moving forward, I won't take my foot off the gas. And I'm ready for the battle and whatever may come. I fight from up in the saddle, go and beat that war drum. If you want some, get some. Wicked about to get dumb. Got the crowd getting loud, everybody heads sprung. Hitting hard and coming stronger like a buck from a cage. Like Micah, I'm a lion busting out of my cage. Cause y'all ain't holding me now, I'll break your bury you down. Go and check your books, cause there ain't no play to be found. They can counter what I'm bringing, you ain't figure me out. Hitting suckers from their gut to their chest and their mouth. And now we steady climbing up to the top. You trying to get on our level, they watch your ass get dropped. Yo, it's your boy on the track, the OG Double G. I'm rolling with the heavy hitter, yeah, that's Jersey the King. Let's get it.
What's good, y'all? Welcome into the show. It's the Gridiron. I'm Kevin Jersey the King Womble, one of your hosts. Today, joining me will be Anthony Mazzoni. We got a lot of football to talk. UFL, NFL, IFL, and college football is back, baby. So let's jump into it. Come jump in the trenches with us, and let's talk about it. This is the Gridiron, live on Fuel Sports Network. Lego. What's going on, y'all? Welcome in and happy Saturday to you all. Welcome to the Gridiron. I am one of your hosts, Kevin Jersey the King Womble, and joining me to my left, my guy, Anthony Mazzoni. What's going on? Ant, what's up?
Oh, same old day, same old Saturday, it feels like. Talking football, hanging with my homie.
That's how we do it, baby. Are you excited for college football being back? It's week 0. We got a game on right now, and it's a good one.
Yeah, I'm actually anticipating a good college football season, especially with the new playoff format.
Definitely. New playoff format. Conference realignments. Pac-12 is the Pac-2. A lot's going on.
The Big Ten's now like the Big 35 or whatever it is.
The Big 35, the Big 18, the Big 20, one of the two. The Big 10's large. The SEC's large. It's ridiculous. It's really crazy.
It's like the Power 2 conferences.
You know what I mean? But I do like the fact that we have some changes being made to the college football playoffs, as well as just in general the future of college football. And we'll get into that later on in the show. Now, we're going to start this show off the right way, like we do every single week. And I want to get into the recent UFL to NFL signings. And I'm doing this because, holy crap, they've set a record. Like literally, the IFL, or excuse me, the UFL set a record for the amount of players that have gotten signed this offseason now. We're looking at about a good 100 and almost 10, I believe. We're getting very, very close to that number. I mean, hell, it's not bad at all. But before we dive into that, guys, what's going on, Hit? Welcome into the show. Like always, make sure you follow the show's social medias. Go and follow the Gridiron on X at the Gridiron. Follow on Facebook at the Gridiron Show. Subscribe on YouTube at the Gridiron Show. Follow on IG at the Gridiron Show. Follow on TikTok at the Gridiron Show. And on Spotify, you can follow at the Gridiron. Now, let's get into these UFL to NFL signings. A slam ball for football? Listen, we have slam ball, and we're not going to take that away, okay? Slam ball is slam ball, and we have a gentleman on Field Sports Network who covers slam ball, and he goes by the name of A-Train. So, there will be, more than likely, a slam ball show coming to Fuel this upcoming slam ball season. Just saying. Just saying. But we love you, Hit. Thank you. Now, one of the first signings, two signings this week, were TJ Carter, defensive lineman for the Michigan Panthers, going to the Arizona Cardinals, or getting signed by the Arizona Cardinals. And then defensive tackle Jalen Twyman going to the Jets, which is very, very interesting. I'm not particularly fond of the TJ Carter signing, but I understand why. I completely understand why. Of course, we know Arizona needs help everywhere on the offensive side and the defensive side. But in my opinion, TJ Carter wasn't the most effective defensive back, or excuse me, defensive lineman on the roster last year for the Michigan Panthers. But he does deserve to be signed, I guess. I don't know. I feel like this wasn't the best signing for Arizona when it came to UFL players. I believe there's, a couple D linemen out there that are better than TJ Carter. But he got the nod. So we'll see. If he makes the team, I'll put my foot in my mouth. Just saying. And when it comes to Jalen Twyman, now this is a good pickup for the Jets. Twyman was very effective at the defensive tackle position for the Brahmas, and I think that this is a good move by the Jets, knowing that they need defensive tackle help. So depth and just roster space, I believe, is why both of these players got signed. But I think Jalen Twyman has a better chance of getting signed and staying with the team throughout this season and making the roster than TJ Carter does. Anthony, your thoughts?
I don't know. The Jets, that's more of a rotational piece, I believe. With Arizona, though, TJ Carter could be more of a scheme fit of what they're trying to build down there. That's the reason why maybe they signed him over other players, is because his body type, maybe his skill set fits what they're trying to do defensively down there. I mean, as you stated, Arizona needs a lot of help on both sides of the ball. Defensive line in particular, especially people that can put pressure up front or put pressure through the guard and center and the guard. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I
I
mean,
definitely agree.
it's not the greatest signing as you stated. I do agree with you on that, but it also depends on the scheme that they're trying to build down there.
Gotcha. I definitely can agree with you on that. We'll have to just see what happens. Definitely.
Yeah,
We'll see what if these players, they have a couple weeks before the season starts, so they got to come in and
exactly.
make a quick impression, and a good impression. So
Yeah,
we'll see. Good luck to both
exactly.
TJ Carter and Jalen Twyman. We'll see if they make the rosters.
Or
Next
any
up,
NFL roster.
right. Next up, we have all outside linebacker from the St. Louis Battlehawks, Chris Garrett,
That's actually
and
not a bad sign.
the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he's going to the Arizona Cardinals as well. But the Pittsburgh Steelers just picked up one of the best linebackers in the UFL last season, and Kayiva Tizino. Tizino was a force on that Birmingham Stallions defense last season, or this past season in the UFL. He was a major factor on that defense. This is a great pickup for the Steelers. You bring a guy like that into a defense that's Pittsburgh has, if you notice, Pittsburgh has never had a horrible defense. They've always had a good defense. Adding someone with his caliber of his caliber and style of play is a plus. It's a huge plus for this linebacking core in Pittsburgh, and I think he has a chance to make the roster. Chris Garrett, on the other hand, there's no reason why he shouldn't make the roster for the Cardinals. The Cardinals need the help, and there's no reason why Chris Garrett should not make this roster. Your thoughts, Anthony?
Well, the Pittsburgh signing actually makes a lot of sense because they need an interior linebacker, and then under Mike Tomlin, you need to be smart, and that kid possesses that intellect, being a high football IQ. So that makes a lot of sense. I think he'll definitely have a chance at making probably the second, third middle linebacker in a rotation. As far as Garrett goes for the Cardinals, that's an edge rusher. That's something that they've been needing.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense. I mean, that was a better signing than the last one they did. But again, the one to Pittsburgh, that's the kid going to Pittsburgh, that's a steal.
Yeah, Tizino going to Pittsburgh, putting him under Mike Tomlin to be coached up by Mike Tomlin.
Not only that defense is already scary because you got TJ Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Cameron Hayward, like that you have a top 5 defense, and then you add a kid with high football IQ. Yeah. And that's been their big
talent.
High talent. But the biggest thing with Pittsburgh the last few years is their middle linebackers have been depleted because of injuries. So this is a great signing. I liked it.
I do too. Tizino going to
a defensive heavy team, like, and a defensive minded coach.
Took the words right out of my mouth. You know what I mean?
Like,
defense wins championships. That's always been the moniker. And Mike Tomlin has always coached around what the defense is doing on the offensive side. If the defense is playing a certain way, that offense has to play that same speed. You know, if their speed is real high, on the defensive side, that offense has to be just as fast. You know what I mean? And adding a guy like Tizino, fast, high IQ, great tackling ability.
Yes.
He rarely misses tackles. That's the thing. He rarely misses tackles. So, yes, I agree. This is a perfect fit for him in Pittsburgh under Mike Tomlin. Perfect fit. Chris Garrett, you have no reason not to make that Cardinals roster as an outside linebacker / defensive edge rusher. Period.
Yeah, good. There's just nobody really in Arizona
to compete against. Right. No. There's nobody really to compete against. And all he has to do is just come in, make a name for himself by just showing up and doing his job to the best of his ability and making a splash. Yeah. Making these coaches look like, whoa.
I mean, he's got one
preseason. We need this.
He's got one preseason game to do it, and then a couple more, and then 2 more weeks of preseason / training camp to get himself
And that's even if these guys get a chance to play in this preseason game coming up.
I think a lot of these UFL signing guys will get more of an opportunity to play this last preseason game, so coaches and other staff can see what they have and don't have.
Right. See him in in an NFL game situation. Definitely. All right. More linebackers going to the NFL from the UFL. Houston Roughnecks linebacker Marvin Moody going to the Cleveland Browns, and Michigan Panthers linebacker Deshaun White going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, I do think this Deshaun White to the Raiders pickup is good. The Raiders could use the help on the back end at the linebacker position. So I don't think he's a camp body when it comes to this signing. I think he's a possible practice squad, maybe even third on the depth chart when it comes to the linebacking core in Vegas, out here in Vegas for the Raiders. So I think Deshaun White has a really good chance of making the team. Marvin Moody as well. That Browns defense is looking to beef up what they had last year. And I think that adding in a player like Marvin Moody, who was really good for the Houston Roughnecks this past season, will be good for them if he makes this roster. He has some competition there in Cleveland when it comes to that linebacking core. There is some real competition there, and he will have to outplay some good guys at that linebacking core for the Cleveland Browns. They showed that last season with having top 5 defense, top 3 defense in the league. How do you feel about these two signings with these two linebackers?
Well, the Raiders definitely need more linebacker help. I mean, in Antonio Pierce's system, they run 2 middle linebackers anyway, so having depth and possibly a second possible starter is a good idea. The kid going to Cleveland, good luck. I mean, that's almost a log jam, but again, you make a splash play, you could definitely make the roster, even if it's just a practice squad. But Cleveland's got depth on the linebacking core, so I think this is just more or less to see if he's better than anybody else that they have on that roster at the moment.
Definitely. I can agree with you on that. I can attest. I can definitely attest on that one. So good luck to you two gentlemen as well. Next up, there were some good signings this week. There was a lot of signings. We have linebacker Frank Ginda. Everyone who is familiar with the USFL not even if you're familiar with the USFL, you know who Frank Ginda is. And last season, he had an opportunity getting signed to an NFL roster. Unfortunately, he was cut. This season, he signed to another NFL roster in the LA Chargers. And I think he has a chance this season. I think he has a chance to make the NFL roster for the Chargers. Mike Penasuik, on the other hand, we have been waiting for this man's name to be called. We have been waiting. One of the best centers in spring football. We have been waiting for this young man to get his name called, and it has finally happened. And I think the Indianapolis Colts have found a new center in Mike Penasuik. Or Panasiuk. Sorry. It's either Panasiuk or Panasiuk. But Ginda and Panasiuk both have a definite real opportunity and a real chance to make the 53-man roster. And Frank Ginda even has an opportunity to make the starting linebacking position. Literally. After LA just let go of Eric Kendricks and he's ended up in Dallas, that just opens the door for Frank Ginda to walk in there, play his ass off, and make that 53-man roster for the LA Chargers. Mike Panasiuk, on the other hand, there's no reason why he does not make this team. There is no reason why he does not make the squad and is on a 53-man roster this upcoming season in the NFL. He's one of the best centers in the UFL, and he's proven that he could play at the next level. Just got to give him the chance.
I mean, Indianapolis needed offensive line help anyway, so the sign makes sense. Now, getting back to Ginda, the Chargers head coach is currently Jim Harbaugh, who coached Michigan last year, and Ginda played for the Michigan Panthers, I believe, right?
Yes, sir.
So guess who probably saw a lot of him in live action?
Yep.
So, no, that kid has a legitimate chance of making that roster just because they don't have anybody in the middle.
Exactly.
Like the Chargers really don't have, like, outside of Bosa, their defense.
They don't have no one.
They don't really have anybody. Like,
on the line or as in the linebacker room.
In core. Like, they don't have, like, Harbaugh went and gutted the team, so it's like they don't have anybody right now.
He said, I want my guys.
He's like, I want my guys. Keenan Allen was gone. Mike Williams. Mike Williams gone. Austin Eckler gone.
Eckler.
Deuces.
He said, I couldn't get JJ, so guess who I'm going to bring in?
What?
Luis Perez. I'm just saying. And shout out to Luis Perez because I think he's going to make the roster, baby.
I think he will, too.
The king of spring.
He definitely struggled in that
preseason. I learned how to play pro football on YouTube.
He struggled in that preseason game, though.
He's learned.
Yeah, no, I definitely give him that.
But he didn't. Luis Perez, even in his first preseason game. Let's go back to the first preseason game. That man was dropping dimes. The players just wasn't catching the ball.
This week 2 preseason game, he struggled a little bit. Like that sack fumble. There was a few.
Listen, I don't care what no one says.
He's gonna make the roster.
Right. But it is a sack fumble is one of the hardest things to prevent as a quarterback. Because when you have a 280, 290, 300-pound defensive end or defensive tackle coming at you, or a 235-pound linebacker who's 6'4", coming after you, and they do that beautiful patented rip move, it's hard, especially if you're in a throwing motion. So I'm not going to throw that all on Luis. I'm going to put that on his offensive line. Protect your quarterback. And I think the Chargers are another one of those teams who need offensive line help.
The Chargers need a lot of help.
How do you lose damn near your whole team, bro? In one
Except for Herbert.
Season,
easy, hire a new head coach.
Your whole team hired a new head coach. Then your starting quarterback gets injured in the preseason in training camp and has an injury that could linger throughout the entire season.
Well, clearly they are trying to not look like they're tanking, but they're tanking. Like, the Justin Herbert injury, if he doesn't stay healthy all year, they're going to be a bottom 5 team. I'm not trying to knock the Chargers or anything. I'm just being honest. Like, in that AFC West where they got to compete with the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Broncos are better, and they're going to be better defensively and offensively under Sean Payton this year. So the Chargers are like, they could literally be the worst team in the AFC West this year if Justin Herbert's not healthy.
Yep. And then on top of that, and you bring up the we'll get into that later. Bringing up Denver. We'll get into that Denver conversation later because it's necessary right now. It really, really is. It's definitely necessary because of what's going on. But we'll get into that here in a bit. Before we jump into our first commercial break, which I know is going to be halfway through the show because we got a lot of UFL to talk about right now. But before our first commercial break, let's finish with these UFL to NFL signings. And guys, you guys can chime in. Everybody watching on social media platforms. And I can't stand you, Hit. Some of the things Hit says, we love you. Make sure you guys follow us everywhere on social media. Follow Fuel Sports Network everywhere on social media. Go check out fuelsportsnetwork.com and download us on Amazon and Roku. TV and devices, Fire Stick, Roku Stick, Amazon TV, and Roku TV. Now, we have Joel Bonui. Bonui. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's going to the Detroit Lions. That's a lot of linebackers. I've just noticed a lot of linebackers have gotten signed this week alone. But I think this is a good pickup for the Detroit Lions. I think they need a little bit more depth at linebacker. And Ayig Buniwe, Ayig Buniwe, I believe is how you pronounce that. I think he has a chance to make the roster. I think he does. Anthony McFarland, on the other hand, is going over there to your boys in Miami to back up Mostert and what's the rookie's name from last season?
I can't pronounce his last name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah, like Acne or something like that.
Oh yeah, Chain.
Yeah, that kid is a stud. That kid's a stud.
He really is, and I think it's going to be kind of hard for Anthony McFarland to beat out either one of them. But I think he has an opportunity to beat out that third string.
Yes, I mean, okay, the McFarland pickup makes sense because last year, towards the end of the year, all we really had was Mostert because a chain got hurt. Got hurt, and that just so depth, like that's what we're lacking at certain skill positions. So I do like the signing there. I'm not going to butcher that poor man's last name. Joel going to the Lions. That gives it. Joel going to the Lions makes sense because again they could use depth. He may not make the starting lineup, but I think he'll be a good rotational player or even make their practice squad.
Boom, there you go.
But I think Anthony McFarland will definitely be on the active roster. Maybe as a kick returner, punt returner, third down back, but I think he will actually make the roster and be on the 53-man roster week 1.
I agree. Here's another interesting name that we all know about. Sage Surratt going to the Arizona Cardinals. That's a great pickup for the Cardinals because they do need tight end help.
Yes,
for sure. And Sage Surratt for the past 2 seasons in the USFL and in the UFL played for Memphis in both seasons. And he has been an anchor for them at that wide receiver position. He has helped them in so many different situations. So I love this pickup by Arizona, and I wish him the best because I know he has a real opportunity to make this team. Chuck Filiaga going to the Minnesota Vikings, offensive lineman from the Brahmas. It's a lot of Brahmas players getting picked up too. But he's going over to Minnesota, and I think he has a chance as well to get picked up and make this roster. And out of these two, of course, Sage Surratt is the better pickup, in my opinion. But Chuck Filiaga is a needed pickup for Minnesota. As we've seen J.J. McCarthy go down for the season, they don't really have offensive line help like they need, and they need depth as well. So I think good signings by both teams, but a great signing for Arizona.
I mean, yeah, no, you get somebody who can play this, who can pretty much expose the seam. You give Kyler Murray another weapon. That was a huge pickup for Arizona. For Minnesota, their biggest weakness since they've had Kirk Cousins was their offensive line. They have not been able to get that right. So this has been their best pickup. Like, I mean, this is what they've been doing all offseason is signing offensive and defensive linemen.
Right.
They need to get fixed before next year because, you can't have your top 10 quarterback play behind the line. It's just going to constantly get him hurt.
Exactly. All right, moving on. these two pickups now. Woo! Listen. Justin Hall, man. Justin Hall. What can I say about this young man? Except speed, hands, and offensive awareness. His wide receiver IQ is very high. This young man knows when he sees his quarterback in trouble, he breaks off his route and does his best to get open. He'll come back to the quarterback to make a play, just to pick up a first down or pick up some yards to get close to a first down or a touchdown. So this pickup for the Minnesota Vikings is huge because if he makes the roster, that's another weapon for Sam frickin' Darnold, aside from Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. So I like this pickup. Now, EJ Perry, on the other hand, I'm surprised about this pickup. Honestly. I'm actually very surprised because I didn't think that the Jacksonville Jaguars would need another QB or put another QB on their roster when they've just picked up. I don't even remember. I forgot who they have at second string and third string. I just was looking at this information earlier today. But I don't know. We'll have to see about this EJ Perry pickup. We'll have to see because EJ Perry didn't do all that great when he was originally drafted. So we're going to have to see, man. We're definitely going to have to see. How do you feel about these Justin Hall to the Minnesota Vikings and EJ Perry to the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Well, Justin Hall makes sense because the Vikings receiving core outside Justin Jefferson is extremely shaky. So you get another guy that, as you said, is smart, has a high football IQ, so understands when to come back to the ball, how to create his own space, and can take teams over the top.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's going to make the roster. EJ Perry, he's probably just a camp body. Maybe a practice squad quarterback, possibly competing for the third string, but that's the extent of it. He might not even make a roster, in my opinion. He might end up back in the UFL next year as another developmental year, which it won't be bad.
No.
So, no, I mean,
some of these guys want to be back in the UFL. Some of these guys are pushing to make it to the NFL. So in some instances, some of these players getting signed to practice squads or getting signed to training camp right now and just a camp body, they're not going to have a big issue with going back to the UFL next season. They're preparing themselves for it. They're just getting the experience in the NFL with the practices and training camp and all that stuff, just so they can go out and be better in the UFL next season and then get a better opportunity moving forward to actually get signed by an NFL team and make a roster next time out. Right. So we'll have to see. Now, our last player that was picked up this week is Keontae Shad, defensive tackle for the Houston Roughnecks, going to the Green Bay Packers, and I like this pickup for the Packers. Shad did pretty good when it came to the nose guard position for Houston last year or this past season. So I do think that he has an opportunity to make the roster. I really do. We'll just have to see. But I think it's a good pickup for the Green Bay Packers. They do need a little bit of help and depth at defensive tackle. So we'll have to see. Do you agree, or do you feel this was an unnecessary pickup for Green Bay?
No, I feel like defensive line is another position that could always use depth because people get hurt, tired, subbing people out. So no, it's not a bad pick. It's not a bad pickup. And if Matt LaFleur wants to run 2 defensive tackles, gives them options to expand his defense out a little bit.
Definitely, you're right. You're right about that. Okay, I agree. Now, guys, here are the up to date current standings or current UFL to NFL signings. And just so everyone knows, Jacob Sailors is no longer with the Giants. He is with another team. He's actually got picked up by another team. But there you guys have it. Those are all the current UFL to NFL signings. And as you see, there's a ton of names. Hakeem Butler was released as well, just so you guys know. I know his name is up here, but he was released by the Bengals. And that's another thing that I was saying this past offseason, going into this preseason and training camp, that if Hakeem Butler, because how well he did this past season in the UFL, if he takes getting to the NFL serious, because in my opinion, he wasn't taking it serious last year. He didn't. He got an opportunity with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he blew it. He literally blew it, on top of getting injured in training camp and barely being able to play, participate. Yeah. But this just goes back to what I was saying. If he doesn't take it serious, how is anybody supposed to take him serious? You're not taking your opportunity that you're getting serious. You're going in there like, oh, I'm the man. I got hands. I did this last year in the UFL. So what? You didn't win a UFL championship. That's one. Two, you have another opportunity to make an NFL roster, and you go in and you don't do your job. You don't do what's needed. So we'll just have to see if he gets an opportunity on another team. Honestly, we will. But I am way over time for a commercial break, guys. So we're going to jump into a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we got some IFL news, NFL news, and college football news. And we have a message from our co-host of the Gridiron, OG Double G, Gabe Garcia. So we'll be right back after these messages. Don't go nowhere. This is the Gridiron live on Fuel Sports Network. You can check us out right now on fuelsportsnetwork.com. Holla. We'll be right back, baby. Right back.
It's time I get in the game, forget the money and fame. Stay ready, making sure that they'll remember my name. I got a hunger inside when the numbers are tied. Yo, I'm a
Oh, my bad. Welcome back to the show. I was just showing off the jersey. Y'all better be ready for this man this year. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all better be ready for this man this year. He's going crazy this year. Watch what I tell you. He's going to earn that contract. But welcome back to the Gridiron Live on Fuel Sports Network. I'm one of your hosts, Kevin JTK Womble. To my left, joining me today is Anthony, the Great Mazzoni. Yeah, I know. I love it. I'm making up nicknames everywhere. Last Saturday night, we had the Indoor Football League National Championship game, and oh my goodness. I thought Massachusetts was going to come into this game riding those two highs of beating Frisco and upsetting Green Bay, and was going to make this game competitive. Massachusetts, what happened? What the heck happen. Arizona came in there and just high schooled y'all. They schooled y'all like y'all were a high school football team. Oh my God. 53-16. Massachusetts had 8 points at halftime. 8 points, y'all. That's a touchdown and a deuce. Maybe even a touchdown and a rouge. But 8 points at halftime, 16 points by the end of the game. Did y'all not realize that the championship game was Saturday? Did nobody show up for the championship game? What the heck, man? I was looking forward to watching a very competitive game between these two teams. We talked about it. You said it was going to be a high-scoring game between both teams. I said it was going to be a defensive game. Hell, we were both wrong and right.
Right at the same time. Well, one team scored a bunch,
a lot,
and one team shut the other team down. So only one team actually was right. The other one just kind of like, I think Massachusetts was just probably emotionally drained after the two big wins, especially that Green Bay win. So I think it just whatever magic they were riding, I think just ran out, and then they ran to Arizona, who was just as hot. So
yeah, and they were coming off two clutch victories that they weren't even expected to win whatsoever. Just like Massachusetts. Massachusetts wasn't expected to win against Frisco, and they damn sure wasn't expected to win against Green Bay. And they blew both of those teams out.
Both of those teams out. Yeah. So it's
Arizona they weren't expected to beat Vegas, but they weren't expected to get blown out either. And they showed that don't underestimate us. And they came in and beat Vegas by 1 point, then turned around and just destroyed San Diego after San Diego upset the number 1 seed and the defending IFL champions, the Bay Area Panthers. So Arizona was coming into this game on a high as well, but they were more focused on getting the job done, and it showed. It definitely showed. And here's your national champions.
You know,
how else? I mean, what about that game stood out to you?
The fact that Arizona couldn't be stopped offensively, and Massachusetts just couldn't get their offense going. Like, they were struggling all game. Having only 8 points at half and literally doubling it and having 16 at the end of the game. I mean, in an IFL game, that's not going to win. It's not going to win you a lot of games in an indoor game. Like, in the NFL, 16 points is a lot. But in indoor league, 16 in an indoor league though, where it's only 50 yards. Come on, man.
Right, like, and high-powered offenses
that's what
like
the indoor leagues
are.
Yeah, like they don't really play a lot of defense there. It's like defense is just there to be on the field, but it's more about the flash and go with the offense. So the fact that they only put up 16, says something about them. They were emotionally drained, but that also says something about Arizona's defense. They came in and they weren't going to be outscored. They weren't going to let the opposition do anything against them, and they didn't. I mean, that's just what it boils down to.
IFL season, exactly. They came in on both sides of the ball. Arizona came in with a mind frame of, we're not leaving Lee's family farm without that championship. Exactly. And Massachusetts came into the game like, we're the favorite. We got this.
I think
one team blew out the number 1 seed.
I think one team knew that they being there was like that was their main focus, and the other team was just happy they got there. It seemed like,
yeah. And
if that makes sense. I mean, we see it in the NFL too. Like, a team that's been there before, or that they were expected to be there, they show up, and the team that just like got there out of a fluke or whatever, got on that hot run, and they tend to play bad in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. They're just happy to be there. Again, congratulations to both teams for having a great season, but Arizona just came out and smacked them.
Yeah, and they wanted that championship more, for sure. So
Yes.
congratulations to the Arizona Rattlers, 2024 IFL National Champions. Now, we got to move it along because we
Yes,
still
sir.
got a lot to talk about in a short amount of time. We got about 15 minutes left, so let's get on to it. NFL news. Big contract extension happened this week with the Chiefs via Adam Schefter's X page. Chiefs and Pro Bowl center Creed Humphrey reached agreement on a 4-year, $72 million extension, including $50 million guaranteed. Humphrey now becomes the highest-paid center in NFL history. The deal negotiated by Ken Sarnoff and Andy Sims of One of One Agency. So, Creed Humphrey is now the highest-paid center in NFL history, all time. Congratulations to him.
Well,
I don't know.
He's been the best. Yes, actually, he does. He's been the best center in the league since he's been drafted.
Whoa! Don't disrespect Jason Kelce like that. I hate the Eagles, but you can't disrespect Jason Kelce like that.
I would put money on it right now that Jason Kelce would say the same thing I'm saying. Okay, like I'm not even kidding. I'm not even a Chiefs fan, but Creed Humphreys is hands down the best center in the league. Like, that man does not give up a sack. And again, that's not a knock on Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce is a first ballot Hall of Fame All-Pro center. Okay, but Jason Kelce is also the beneficiary of having both Lane Johnson. They had also, that offensive line is great. Don't get me wrong, Jason Kelce is great, one of the greatest centers ever. But Creed Humphrey right now is the best center in the NFL.
There you go, guys. You heard it from our football analyst, Anthony Mazzoni. Creed Humphreys deserved his contract and earned it since his rookie season. And there you have it there. Another big news signing. The Falcons are beefing up, yo. The Falcons are not playing. The Falcons said, this is our year. We got Kurt Chains. We got all these new additions. We got rookie superstars from last season that have made some noise, and they're going into the sophomore season looking to make some more noise. And now they just added Matthew Judon and now AJ Terrell on a 4-year, $81 million deal that includes $65.8 million in effectively full guarantees, the largest guarantee ever given to a corner on a 4-year deal. Holy moly. The Falcons are not playing. They are taking that cap space that they have, and they are utilizing it to the best of their damn own ability. And you got to give them credit. We just got to see if any of this makes a difference this season. That's the question, you guys.
Well,
how does this AJ Terrell signing, in your opinion, how big is this AJ Terrell signing for the Falcons?
It's huge. I mean, he's been their best defensive player. I mean, he's been a top 10 cornerback, and I mean, he's definitely one of the better ones in the NFC South. So the fact that he got the $81 million and almost $66 million fully guaranteed, kid earned it. Now he's got to go out and prove that he was worth all that since getting that contract. I think Atlanta's pass defense is going to be good. Getting Judon is going to help their pass rush, but they still have holes on the defense. So
we'll have to see.
I think their offense. That was huge. Their offense is going to be explosive. Just last a little bit.
It is. And if Kurt Chains can stay healthy, their offense could be deadly, and we could be looking at a real competitor in the NFC South this season. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
Just saying. And then, oh my gosh, like what is going on over there in Washington? We're doing in-division trades, and then you're going to give up former first-round draft pick Jahan Dotson and a 5th-round pick to the Eagles in exchange for a 2025 3rd-round pick and 2 7-round picks. 7-round picks for Jahan Dotson? 7 rounders What are we doing?
Well,
I don't know. Washington, I don't know. You explain that to these people here. Because I don't get it.
Look at Washington did last year when they traded Chase Young. They traded him for a third-round pick to San Francisco. I mean, I think this is just more of he underperformed. I don't think they want him there. He probably doesn't want to be there. So it's a situation where they're going to take the best offer they can get. The fact that
But how
Philadelphia
can you perform?
ended.
Hold on. How can you perform at your best when you ain't got no offensive line or no quarterback that can get you the ball?
I understand that. Okay, I'm just saying it from an NFL. I'm just saying from an NFL standpoint.
I get it.
He is underperformed for a first-round pick. Granted, the guy ahead of him is Terry McLaurin, who is just scary with the ball in his hands. So, But no, the fact that they traded him in the division, that's going to probably come back to bite them. I'm just saying, like, now if I'm Jahan Dotson, the 2 games I'm circling on my calendar are going to be against Washington. And guess what I'm going to do against Washington? I'm going to put my best numbers.
Watch.
Because everybody's going to be focused on A.J. Brown and Dallas Goedert and Saquon Barkley. Nobody's going to pay attention to him.
And
Devontae Smith. So guess who the least likely to get a lot of target or least likely to get a lot of coverage? Jahan Dotson. I'm just saying, those 2 games against Washington, I see him putting up big numbers.
I do too. All right, moving on. But that's huge. That's a huge trade.
Ooh.
The Panthers acquired cornerback Michael Jackson from the Seahawks in Seattle in exchange for a rookie linebacker, Michael Barrett. So this is a player-for-player trade. And in my opinion, I don't see any team coming out a loser in this trade. I think this was a good acquisition for the Panthers because they need the cornerback help. It was also a good acquisition for the Seahawks in getting a rookie linebacker that can come in and do what Devin Witherspoon did last year as a rookie at the cornerback position if he gets the chance to get on the field. So I think this is good. I think this is really good for both teams.
Well, okay,
also,
Carolina, for instance.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Carolina, for instance, J.C. Horn hasn't performed up to that first-round pick that he was drafted, and Dante Jackson has underperformed since getting that contract extension. So the Michael Jackson trade makes sense.
I had to. I'm sorry.
This guy.
All right. And another, and this is crazy. They just got the Seahawks just picked up a linebacker in Michael Barrett, but they traded off a linebacker to the Bears in Darrell Taylor for a 2025 6th-round pick. What the hell's going on?
I think they liked Barrett better than they did Taylor. Darrell Taylor's not a bad linebacker, but I don't think he's a starting caliber linebacker. So maybe they saw something, like I said, maybe they saw something in Barrett to make them pull the trigger and make that trade. But, an additional 5th-round pick's not bad either. So, but the Bears, I mean, they could use linebacker help too since Roquan Smith's no longer there. I think they lost somebody else too in that linebacking core. So, I mean, Seattle's made some pretty good moves.
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely have.
They have not had a bad offseason since they let Russell Wilson go.
Very true.
Just saying. They have not had a bad offseason since they traded Russell Wilson to the Broncos. In fact, I think they've had the 3 best offseasons in their history since they drafted Russell Wilson. I mean,
I can't disagree with that.
Their last few drafts, they've hit the rookie receiver, the corner last year. I mean, they have gone out and retooled that team with what they got for that Russell Wilson trade. So yeah, no, Seattle's fine. I think they're going to be the 2nd-best team in the AFC or NFC West behind San Francisco.
I happen to agree with that wholeheartedly. Now, we got week 3 in the preseason, y'all. Week 3 is here. And 2 games have already been played. Well, excuse me. 5 games have already been played. Sorry. And within those 5 games, here is we like to talk about the UFL players here a lot. And here's Jake Bates.
Fox to hold. Spot down kick on the way by Bates. Got the distance. Does he have the direction? Yes, sir. Knocks it through. There's the snap. Spot. Kick away. It is up and it is good. Left side. Spot down. Kick away. It is up and it is good. Bates sends it through. Daly to snap. Fox to hold. Bates with a field goal attempt. 43 yards, middle of the field. Bates is ready. Snap, spot down, kick is up, and it is good. He got it on the final play of the game. Jake Bates sends it through.
That was all Jake Bates, y'all. Like, literally. That was all Jake Bates. Like, practically that whole game for the Chiefs and Lions, Jake Bates was scoring the points. So shout out to Jake Boots Bates. That's what I call him, Boots, because he boots it. He definitely does. Jake Boots Bates. He's doing his thing, and he's going to be the starting kicker for the Lions. There's no doubt about it.
Dan Campbell gave him high praise after that game too.
He did. But let me tell y'all something. We talk about Jake Bates and everything that he's done. But has Jake Bates kicked a 66-yarder? No. But guess who did? Brandon Automatic Aubrey. Check this out.
This is officially a 66-yard field goal. He drills it, doesn't have enough. Oh, man, 66 for Aubrey.
This is the end of the first half.
Holy cow.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Did you see how much space he had after it crossed the daggone uprights? Did you see how much more room he had behind that kick? Are we looking like is it safe to say that Jake Bates could probably kick a 70-yarder?
Maybe.
Or get close to it, maybe 68? Because, I mean, there was – look at this again. There was space behind that kick, y'all.
66-yard field goal. He drills it, doesn't have enough. Oh, man, 66 for Aubrey.
This is the end of the first half.
Holy cow.
I mean, 68 is possible. 68 is possible.
You saw that space that was left.
Yeah, but
you saw where the ball dropped.
Yes, I wouldn't go as far as 70. What's the record again? 66?
Yeah.
Justin Tucker has the record, right? In the regular season?
Yeah.
With 66.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean.
And he did that with ease, bro. He did that with ease and more room. Like, if he would have been 2-3 yards back, he would have made it still. There was plenty of room. Just saying. All this hype about Jake Bates. Look how much space was on that kick after it already crossed the uprights. There was still another 2 or 3 yards that ball traveled. Just saying.
But Jake Bates won that game for his team. Like, he literally carried the Lions and then had that clutch kick at the end and won it. I mean, don't get me wrong, 66 yards is impressive. I don't care who you are.
Jake Bates has only kicked 64. And that was indoors. That was at a dome. That was in a dome stadium.
Okay, and didn't Aubrey just kick a 66-yarder inside?
Shut up.
I was just saying.
Shut up. But he could do it in an outdoor field too. We've seen Automatic Aubrey and his leg. He kicked a 63-yarder last year outdoors, no problem.
I'm not saying he doesn't have the leg strength, But if you're gonna sit there and bash Jake Bates and his 64-yarder indoor,
bashing him. I'm not bashing him. The thing about Jake Bates that I've always noticed since this past season in the UFL, he struggled when it came to weather games outdoors. Kicking indoors, no problem.
Well, he plays in a dome 8 games a week, 8 games a year.
Well,
9 depending on the schedule.
5 home, 5 away.
Detroit play. Well, I'm talking about with the Lions.
He's gonna play with the Lions now. He's going to play.
Yeah, he's going to play
outdoors.
He's going to play 8 games indoors at least. 9 technically with Minnesota.
True. I mean, heck, they play New Orleans. That's indoors. If they play Atlanta, that's indoors.
They play Dallas indoors. So it's like, so. I mean, I get where you're saying with him struggling in elements. So,
because he's never kicked an in-game field goal until he got into the UFL.
Yeah.
He was always just a kickoff kicker. He's never kicked a field goal in a regular game since high school.
Right. So I mean, that's 4
and
years.
It just showed that he needed, a little bit of kicking. He just needed a little bit of practice, a little bit of time to just get in his groove, and I think he's going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah, Detroit's fine with him.
I just believe Brandon Aubrey is going to have a better career in the NFL as a kicker because of what he did last year. That man did not miss. He missed one extra point. He did not miss one field goal attempt throughout the entire season last season. And if they would have classified him as a rookie, he would have won Rookie of the Year.
I don't know the rookie class last year. The rookie class last year was pretty good.
It was, but how many points did Brandon Aubrey score by himself last season? Just saying.
I understand that, but they'll never give Rookie of the Year to a kicker. It's like a receiver winning MVP. It just won't happen.
Not yet.
That receiver would have to go out with. That receiver would have to have 2,000 yards with 1,000 yards with each with 2 different quarterbacks and have like 30 touchdowns in order to win MVP. JJ Watt had 5 touchdowns and got hosed by Aaron Rodgers.
I can't stand you. Look, listen, y'all. It's college football. We're moving on. He got me on that one. We're going to see what happens between these two UFL kickers. We were going to see. Well, spring league kickers, I should say, because Brandon Aubrey didn't play in the UFL, only the USFL. And but it's week 0 in college football. And our first matchup going on right now is the Florida State Seminoles taking on Georgia Tech in Dublin, Ireland. This is interesting to me. The score currently is tied 14-14. And you would think the number 10 team in the country would be blowing Georgia Tech out. But they're not. They're tied. I think Georgia Tech has a real chance to beat them. But the thing that confuses me is why the heck do they have Georgia Tech and Florida State playing in Dublin, Ireland, and not Notre Dame and another team playing in Dublin, Ireland? It only makes sense that the Irish, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, play in Ireland. But I guess that wasn't in the mind frame. Okay, whatever. But it's a good game, packed house, beautiful field, beautiful stadium. I just don't understand why Notre Dame is not playing. And I think it would have been a better matchup to have Notre Dame play FSU, 2 top 10 teams, because Notre Dame's coming into the season number 7. And Florida State's coming into the season number 10. So I just felt it would have been a better game to have 2 ranked opponents play each other and 2 top 10 ranked opponents play each other rather than a ranked opponent versus an unranked opponent. But with the way this game's going, it could be an exciting finish and we could see an upset. Then you have later on today, the next game on the slate is New Mexico versus Montana State. And this is going to be a blowout to me by New Mexico. I think New Mexico is going to blow them out. Just my opinion. I really do think they're going to blow them out. Then you have SMU going up against Nevada. My bad, these are in the wrong orders. I'm trying to put them in order of the time of the games and when they come on. But then you have SMU taking on Nevada Wolfpack. SMU just moved to the ACC, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
They are now in the ACC.
believe
Nevada
so.
is still in the Mountain West. So they left the athletic conference, and the SMU Mustangs left the athletic conference and now are in the ACC. So it's going to be an interesting game to see. They've been doing a lot when it comes to rebuilding this team, especially after being the only school to ever receive the death penalty. So it's good to see them back. Then our game to end the slate for the night in week 0 of college football, you have Delaware State taking on Hawaii. And this is going to be an interesting game to me. Delaware State's one of those teams that I think could be moved up to Division I soon. Delaware State, South Dakota State, North Dakota State. There's a few teams in the FCS that could actually get a move up. I mean, hell, put them in the Pac-12 since there's only 2 teams in it. But just so you guys know, this game right now that's on, the FSU Georgia Tech game, is sold out in Dublin, Ireland, and it is a packed house. They are loving it out there. They're enjoying themselves, and they're having so much fun. You could tell if you're watching the game. So shout out to week 0 in college football because it gets us ready for all the great action in week 1. So I know there's 2 games, but hey, it is what it is. All right, real quick. College Football 25 by EA Sports is now allowing you to port over your Road to Glory player directly into Superstar mode in Madden. And if you want to know how to do that, here you go.
In this video, we'll show you how to transfer your custom player from Road to Glory in EA Sports College Football 25 straight into Superstar mode in the all-new Madden NFL 25. To do this, your Road to Glory player needs to be eligible for the NFL Draft. This can happen before the offseason at the end of Year 3 or at the end of Year 4. In the Road to Glory menu, go to the Actions tab and choose Leave for the NFL. Here, you can choose to retire from college football or export your player to Madden. Once you've exported your player, it's time to jump over to Madden NFL 25. Go to the main menu and launch Superstar. Select the position that matches the Road to Glory player you exported from EA Sports College Football. Choose Import to confirm you want to transfer your player. Next, customize your avatar and use your creation points to improve their skills. An imported avatar can earn anywhere from 1 to 5 creation points, depending on your college OVR. Now, you're all set to start your pro career in the NFL. In Superstar, your journey to stardom begins with the NFL Combine, where you'll compete in a series of mini games and drills. The next stop is the NFL Draft. Your draft position will depend on how well you performed in the NFL Combine. Once you're drafted by a team, you're ready to climb the ranks of football stardom in Madden NFL 25. Subscribe to learn more.
There you have it, y'all. So that is how you actually, export your player over. See, they won't, they can't. We'll say it like this. If you remember NCAA football, you were able to port over the entire draft class. The reason why they can't do that now for college football 25 and Madden 25 is because of the NIL deals. Now that name, image, and likeness is a thing, like a real big thing, because it's always been a thing. But now that NIL deals are big and they're the thing of the future, I guess. It would take so much money for NCAA and the NFL to pay all these players, because you have to imagine porting over your draft class to Madden from NCAA football or college football 25. You would literally have to pay these companies would literally have, or these leagues, organizations, the NFL and the NCAA would have to pay these players for their name, image, and likeness, separate from just the regular. You know what I mean? Exactly. So you have to imagine they're going to be getting paid double by the NFL.
Yep.
Because once some of these players get drafted, they're going to be on the game again. So to make it to where that wasn't possible, they only made it to where you're able to port over your Road to Glory player and not the entire draft class with your Road to Glory player. So it is what it is, man. It really, really is. All right. Before we get into our fan mail and end the show, I do have a message for everyone. And it is from our guy, the OG, Double G, Gabe Garcia. Take a listen, y'all.
Hey, what is good, everybody out there? Yeah, thank you for watching the Gridiron, y'all. Sorry I ain't been there, man. Life's been going on, you know what I'm saying? And some things just changes a little bit. But I'm going to be on soon. So y'all stay posted. But, keep rocking with my boy Jersey. He's always bringing it every single week on the Gridiron, holding it down for us. We got week 0 of the NCAA coming in. What do we got? 4 games. We got Florida State, of course, to Georgia Tech. I got to go with Florida State. Come on. Let's just be real right off the bat. Then you got Montana State at UNM. Can't stand UNM because that's our rival here in New Mexico State. And they're in northern New Mexico, but they're at home against Montana State. UNM ain't very good, but they'll be good enough to win this game. All right, then we got SMU at Nevada. I'm going with Nevada. Yeah, that's a no-brainer for me right there. You got Delaware State going all the way to Hawaii. It's a long way to travel for a first game. Yeah, I'm going with Hawaii, y'all. So, let me know if you guys, or let Jersey know if y'all disagree. And if you do, that's okay. I ain't there to debate with any of you right now. So, also, man, y'all be ready for NFL. It's going to be coming in pretty soon, week 1. Hopefully, I'll be back by then, but I can't guarantee nothing. But again, stay posted, y'all. Hey, y'all already know who I represent, baby. Go Cowboys. See how we do this year. And y'all just, keep riding, man. Keep riding. And definitely, no matter, you got to find your place of zen this week, all right? For the rest of the month, until I get back, y'all just chill, okay? Find your place of zen, no matter what life's going to throw at you every single day, every single week, every single month. It's going to throw you some BS, y'all. But you already know what I always say. You can flow right around it. You evolve to what life is doing, man. All the problems it's giving you. You evolve, and you adapt, and you come back stronger. You know what I'm saying? Because in the words of the great Bruce Lee, all y'all got to do is be water, my friends. I am Wicked One, Gabriel Garcia, a.k.a. the OG Double G, baby. We the OG and the King. We out.
My guy. This is why I love that guy right there, man. That's what I'm talking about. He's not here on the show with us, but he's here on the show with us. So definitely big shout out to Gabe, man. Thank you for that. Y'all hear his picks for college football week 0. And we all agree. We all agree. Except I don't know. The way FSU is playing right now, I don't know if they're going to beat Georgia Tech. I don't know. DJU isn't playing his best football right now, and Georgia Tech's run game is doing very, very well against Florida State's defense. So we're going to have to see how the rest of this game plays out. Definitely. Now, Anthony, you ready? Because you
I'm
know
always
what
ready.
time it is. My favorite part of the show. Yeah. And as always, my boy Hit sent us in some questions. No one else has sent us in any questions yet. Hopefully that changes next week. Hopefully that changes throughout the NFL season. Just saying. Send the fan mail questions in, guys. All you gotta do is thegridiron@gmail.com. Just send in your questions. That's all we want. That's all we want. But anyways, got a little emotional there. Thank you, Hit, for sending in questions like you always do. But Hit asks, says, I know you all love football, but how would you all feel about an adult flag football league? Hit, I hate to say this, but we're watching an adult flag football league be
In
made
the Olympic.
for our very eyes. No,
Oh, the NFL.
look at the NFL. Let's really look at the NFL. All the rule changes, all the different. Oh, you can't hit a quarterback this low. You can't hit a player there. You can't tackle a player this way. You can't do this. You can't do that. Take the pads off and give these guys flags. Like, we used to watch guys get drilled, basically murdered on the field with some of these hits. You make a hit like that nowadays,
You're fined and suspended.
Arresting you for murder. Okay? You're on trial. All right? That's premeditated right there. Your intentions were all bad. It's football. And for the simple fact that we can't get the same old game that we got before, just saying. It feels like adult flag football all over again. Or not all over again, but in the making. Like, it's happening. But we do have flag football coming to the Olympics, but it's not a professional league. I get it. It's not like a league in the United States yet. So,
Yeah,
in my opinion, I wouldn't mind it. I would not have a problem with watching an adult flag football league. I think it would
with
be
the
good.
NFL. But here's the thing with the NFL. Like, they're just going to import everything the flag football league is doing into their own rule book and just turn it into their own thing.
I don't disagree at all. Look, y'all, we almost had an hour and 30 minutes today, and I'm loving it. Go ahead. I'm just letting everybody know. We're almost at an hour and 30. We're going to keep going.
I mean, it's just, you just go look at what the Olympics did and then just kind of change your rule book to match that. And then, you make your star quarterbacks untouchable. Have them just wear red jerseys the entire time on the field so they can't be touched. Like in practice, yeah. That's why you can't be touched.
That would be crazy.
They might as well call it sarcastic ball too while we're at it. Like, shit.
I love it. This is why I love having Anthony on. I can't wait till Gabe comes back and we're all three on. It's going to be hilarious. I can't wait. So there you have it, Hit. It would not be a bad thing, but in a way, we're literally watching the NFL turn into adult flag football. Literally. It's like, if things keep going the way they are, in about 5 years, there will be no more tackle football.
No. Not unless you want to watch the lingerie league.
Or the UFL.
Or the UFL. Or rugby.
Or the IFA coming next season. Or in June of next year.
It's like, if you pretty much just want to see
Alliance.
If you want to see somebody get hit, just watch anything but the NFL.
There you go. If you want to actually
hockey,
see real football.
Like, even hockey has more hits than football does at this point.
That's what we're getting to. We're definitely getting to that spot. All right, so there you have it. Hit. Moving on to the next question. Your bird is like, man, you tripping.
I know. Well, I'm supposed to let him out, but
Not during the show, huh? He said,
not during the
can't do
show.
it.
No, I'll let him out. He's just
All
gonna
right,
keep
next
squawking
question.
until I do this.
Go ahead.
No,
Hit
no.
asked and off topic. Should people be allowed to sue? Sorry. Ooh. Okay.
Max.
Bro, we let
He
you out.
is. I know. He's just like.
He's so mad at you.
I left him in there for like an extra hour. So yeah, he's very boisterous when he doesn't get his way. It's like a child.
He is super mad. Hit asked, should people
Now
be
he's quiet.
allowed to it should say sue, and that was a typo. Should people be allowed to sue gaming companies over hidden content that they found, even if the game devs never released said hidden content? Interesting question here. Because as a gamer, if I find some hidden content, no.
I don't think they should.
No, not at all. Mac, enough.
Max, chill.
Oh, Max. He's like, it's Max, not Mac. Jersey.
Yeah, I don't even understand why he's just being a yeah. Oh, and now he's flying around the room.
That's awesome.
And now he's gonna be quiet, hopefully. Oh, now he's gonna shut up.
No, but honestly, Hit. I don't think people should be allowed to sue the game devs, because you got to imagine some of these game devs put hidden stuff in these games for us to find
Easter
and
eggs.
not tell us about. They put it in, yeah, exactly. They're Easter eggs. They put in these Easter eggs so that we do more in the game. If certain people navigate in a game to the point where they've navigated so deep that they found something that was not presented in the game footage, or that wasn't like advertised. There you go. I believe it's in there for that narrative. It's an Easter egg.
Well, Grand Theft Auto is a perfect example of that. They have Easter eggs throughout their entire series. I'm trying to think of another one that's really like that. Games like that all the time. Like Last of Us has a few of them. Doom has some. So I mean, nothing wrong with having hidden stuff in there. I don't think that you should be able to sue a gaming company or devs over it because they didn't tell you about it. Now, it'd be different if they were like charging you for it and didn't tell you about it. Then I would definitely say we'd be up in arms. But things that you discover while playing the game, either A, you luckily came across it, or B, you've been playing the game for so long that you stumbled across it.
Definitely.
Skyrim's another one I would say that with.
Hell, there's a few games that just recently came out that have some really good Easter eggs, like the new Star Wars games that's coming out. It's gonna have a bunch of Easter eggs in it, especially for the new television series, like the Skeleton Crew. Andor's coming back for season 2. You also have Star Wars Acolyte that just came out on Disney Plus. You know what I mean? So there's going to be so many different Easter eggs that
throughout.
Are going to be in this upcoming game that they're not going to talk about, that they're not going to show us, that they're not going to reveal to us. We're going to have to find it on our own. But if you notice, every time people find hidden stuff in games, they make videos about it.
Yep, I was gonna say that's why I brought up Skyrim Star Wars Outlaws is a good one because they're gonna utilize all the stuff that they've been doing over the last like 5-6 years and probably put that throughout the game as like hidden Easter eggs. I think they did it with not The Last Jedi. Was it The Last Jedi? They did it with
Survivor. Jedi Survivor.
Survivor. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Part 2.
It's just like Part 2. Yeah, they did quite a number of Easter eggs and pokes in that one.
Even in the first one. They did a few in the first one. You know, there was a couple
Yeah.
Easter eggs, especially in different planets that you travel to. You know, there was a couple different Easter eggs that you really had to know your Star Wars lore.
To get
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. You know, and they're going to continue to do that. If you look at the Fallout series now, look at the Fallout game series and now the Fallout TV series. There's so many Easter eggs that they've put in the series that's from the game, but also stuff that hasn't been shown in a future game because it's a future game. So, you know, there's so much. Go ahead.
Well, they also pull lore from like the first 2 Fallout games, for instance, the ones that are only on PC, and not a lot of people have been privy to play those. So there's a lot of lore in that a lot of people don't know about either. So, but no, Fallout's a good example of that. The Last of Us TV show, they had a lot of pokes from they did a lot of pokes from the game,
and they kept it as realistic and they kept it as realistic of an adaptation as possible.
Right.
When it came to like The Last of Us and Fallout, like those 2 shows, I can honestly say are 2 of the best video game adaptations that's been done lately.
Because they stuck with the content of the game. I mean, yeah, they did. They changed up a few things and add their own their own stuff to it, which is fine. But they didn't completely overhaul a whole series just to either stroke their own ego or satisfy a group of people. Like,
exactly.
So I thought Fallout was a great series. They did really good with that.
I can't wait for season 2.
For the season 2. I'm hoping to introduce Death Claws.
I heard they are. I heard season 2 because they're going towards New Vegas. They're going to New Vegas. And, you know, Death Claws are in New Vegas.
Well, they have that core. If you ever played the New Vegas game, you know about that quarry that's full of them. Yeah, that's no fun.
It's going to be great to see Death Claws
in person,
live action.
Live action.
Yes,
like I said,
just like what did they have in the first season?
Yaguais.
What was that?
The Yaguai.
What was the big thing in the water? Right?
No, the bear.
Not the bear.
The bear.
Not only the bear. The what was it? Starts with a G.
It's not the ghoul.
A galuga.
Gulper.
The gulper.
Something like that.
The big old gulper in the water. Because
from 76.
Stole the head. She stole the head.
Yep. That's a poke at Fallout 70.
Yep, exactly. So
that's a poke.
They're bringing in the characters, guys. Like these different adaptations that's been going on right now. They like Borderlands, horrible. Don't waste your time watching it. It's a horrible adaptation for that video game. They did a terrible job with that movie. I'm sorry. I don't care who the actors and actresses are. It was
their
not
casting
a good
choice.
Their
casting choices were terrible.
But their story, was.
I know. I know. It's just their whole casting choice for every single character. Like, why couldn't Kevin Hart just be the Claptrap? Like
the voice of Claptrap. He would have been hilarious.
Hilarious as Claptrap. Like you could have gotten Elgis Iba to do Rollin. Just saying.
I would have definitely liked Idris Elba better as Rollin
than Kevin Hart. Like
that wasn't a role that you put Kevin Hart in. It's not.
It's really not. That movie itself was just more of a cash grab, trying to snag on popularity of a movie or a game that really, if they'd done this 10 years ago, they would have made a lot more money off of it.
And they would have had better actors and actresses, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like
so,
we're gonna make Kate
definitely
Blanchett.
One of those. Right, like, come on, you made Kate Blanchett. Lilith, and then you had Ariana. What's her last name? Greenwald, I believe. You had her playing Tiny Tina. Really. Whatever. Y'all got that. Whatever. But
y'all want to flop? That's on you.
Thank you. Right. Hit. Thank you for the fan mail, as always, my brother. And you guys know you can send in your fan mail questions to the Gridiron Podcast at Gmail. And that right there is going to bring us to the end of the show. We went for an hour and 30 minutes today, y'all. We had a lot to talk about. Anthony, thank you so much for coming on and helping me get through this show today. There was definitely a lot to talk about, but we got through it. We definitely got
Yes, we did.
my guy. If you guys don't know, everybody out there watching, go check out Anthony Mazzoni's merch store for what he's doing streaming wise. He has added the Gridiron and the Jersey the King show merch to his store. So you can go and get Jersey the King merch and the Gridiron merch from multiple places now. The Gridiron store, the Jersey the King store, and the Goomba store. So make sure you guys go and check out the website. If you need more information, just hit up Anthony Mazzoni on Facebook. That's Anthony. Last name Mazzoni. You can find him on Facebook and get more information on his site, his streaming, and everything he's doing. Also, guys, as always, please go and follow Gabriel Garcia on all the following social media that you see down at the bottom. As well, for Gridiron Nation, you can always send in your email or your fan mail questions to Gridiron Nation Podcast at Gmail to have your questions asked and answered by Gabriel Garcia on the Gridiron Nation show. And of course, email your questions to the Gridiron Podcast at Gmail for the Gridiron. And send in your fan mail questions. As you see, we have fan mail every single week. We want more. We want more. We want more fan mails. More fan mail, okay? I love you guys, man. I thank you guys for everything that you do to make Fuel what it is. I thank you guys for all the support that you give to everyone here at Fuel, all the different shows that you guys support and watch and share and everything. You guys have made me the happiest person in the world. You don't understand. I just had my numbers for my shows have been huge. The numbers for all the shows on Fuel have been so huge, and we couldn't have done it without you guys, the viewers, the audience, the supporters, the fans of Fuel Sports Network and Fuel in general. Fans, the Fan United Experience Legion. That's what Fuel stands for, if you don't know. The Fan United Experience Legion. And our job is to bring all the fans together of all sports. And I think we're doing a hell of a good job with that. But it all starts with you guys, the audience, the fans, the viewers, the supporters. It all starts with you guys. And we couldn't have gotten to where we are or get to where we're going without you guys. So thank you for the continued support and the continued love. And just don't stop. Honestly, don't stop, because we can't do this without you guys. I want to thank every single one of you who tuned into the show today. I want to thank everybody at Fuel for giving me this platform, giving me this opportunity to do what I do every Thursday and every Saturday and bring you guys good content. Now, I know we went over today. I'm going to get yelled at. It's all right. I'll take that for you guys. But I love you guys. Anthony Mazzoni, thank you, brother, for being in here today with me. You know how we rock. No doubt. You may see him next week. You may see him the week after. You may see him after that. We don't know yet, but we'll keep you posted. And as you guys seen from Gabe, he will be back soon. But until then, I'll make sure to get a weekly message from him every single week until he comes back or when he's not here. So thank you guys again for tuning in today. Thank you for showing all the love you do. Thank you for supporting me and everyone here at Fuel. Until next week, I'm Jersey the King, Kevin Jersey the King Wumble. He's Anthony the Goomba Mazzoni. This is the Gridiron Live on Fuel Sports Network. Go download Fuel Sports Network if you haven't at Roku and Amazon TV, or on Roku and Amazon TV and devices. Roku TV, Amazon TV, Roku Stick, and Amazon Fire Stick. And you can always watch anything that's live on Fuel Sports Network That's fuelsportsnetwork.com. You can check out our audio shows. You can check out our articles from our journalists. We do have a new article up there from Dr. Jeremy Housewright talking about the Missouri Tigers college football team this season and them being in the top 25. Are they for real? Go find out. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Thank you for tuning in. Holla at your boys. Peace out.